Well, it's the end of an era, as the video title says. This machine, which is 600 megahertz Pentium 3, 768 megs of RAM, it has a solid state drive in it and a gigabit network card. From other videos that you may or may not have seen, probably, this machine has been my Pi-hole server for 3 years now, 4 years. I don't even know how long I did that. I should have looked that up before I started filming this. But history goes back a lot longer. This machine has been a server of some kind, of some description, has been doing stuff on a network that I have been, my parents' house and now, in my own house, for the last 20 years. Yes, since 2005, this machine has been basically the same. Well, not the same. I mean, there has been updates, but the case and the motherboard have been the same since then, since 2005. It started in 2000 with Server 2003, Windows Server 2003. Then I went to that. This is the first thing where I actually cut my teeth on Linux as well. With Ubuntu Ubuntu LTS 606, and then bumped that up to, what was it? Did I do 8 or did I do 10? And maybe 14. And I think I was trying to go to 18 when that went south. And I wiped it out and started with Debian 7, then 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So all through its life in the last 20 years, except for a brief period of time in the mid-2010s, where I couldn't update it and just let it go for a bit. It was still doing stuff, but I just let it go. Anyway, it's been basically up to date. And it's been able to be up to date for the entirety, except for that brief period of time. Which is the thing I kind of really, really liked about this. It's sitting here, very, very old, 20 years old right now, but it's still running a modern software. But Pi-hole has been its downfall. Back in January, Pi-hole 6 was released. Now I could stay on 5, but alright, I'm going to try 6. I tried it about 2 or 3 times to install it on this. Didn't really look too much into it because I had some other ideas, and it's like, it's going to be nearing its retirement. 20 years is a great run. 20 years, mostly even hooked, like powered on for about 20 years. I mean, that is pretty incredible. So, that was one of the things I could boast about it, where it's like it's running the latest software. It's like, oh man, the machine is that old. Actually, the components are from 1999, the main components. What kind of stuff can you run on this? Like, okay, yeah, it's all up to date. Not anymore. And like I said, retirement probably. Yes, yeah, probably. Sorry, guy. This guy as well. This guy, has its own video about sharing my VPN connection from work to other machines in a dedicated network within the house. And yeah, I mean, it's been working fine. I mean, it's not one of my favorite, machines, but I mean, it's just been, well, I was going to say reliable, but there's been issues with the onboard Ethernet controller, which is a known issue with them, apparently. You need to pass some parameters to it or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what it all meant, but after that, I mean, it did stay, more reliable. But the thing is, okay, there's 2 network connections to there. There's a network connection to there. So, and, these are, small, small storage spaces and everything else. And it's like, yeah, it's what they're doing is what they are doing. Proxmox. Let me do Proxmox. Let me get a server together that will, well, right now it's kind of hokey, but we'll get to that, where I'm just taking a P2V from this guy, a P2V from that guy. With Proxmox, you could do VLANs. I have a managed switch there, so I can do VLANs. I don't have to do multiple Ethernet routes, blah, 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 blah. It's all handled internally. And, I did P2V to this, P2V to that. I'm getting ahead of myself. But, if I do that, That's an option. And then maybe later on, create new VMs and, be able to play with it that way. There's a lot more flexibility, obviously, with virtual machines than actually hardware servers. And, I can build one out if I need to and just have, yeah, like I said, have more flexibility. Now, what does that server entail? What does that look like? Well, before I get out of my very packed closet right here, and this machine had the motherboard of my main computer that I was using right before the one that I'm using right now. So yeah, it had it for a bit. Just that gateway there. So the motherboard from that was in here for a little while, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'll use that. It makes me feel a little better. I mean, this was a machine that I used at least the motherboard, as an old, my main machine for a little while, and it's like there's a history to it. So, yeah, I'll do that. It's like, but then no, I don't like this case. It's too big for what it is. Doesn't have, enough of drive bays. I mean, there's 2.5 drive bays, but 3.5. It's like, what can I use? It's like I was in here, and then it's like there was a machine right here, and it's like that just did it for me. So I will show you right now the current. It's not on because I'm still just wrapping it up. But this is going to be my new Proxmox machine. Yes, it is not a screamer at all. I am very, very conservative with the VMs that are on it right now, and maybe I'll get to that, but it has a Intel Core i7 3770. Yes, that was my main machine specs from 2012 to 2020. So yeah, that motherboard was, in that case. Now that has a 4790, but it was in that case before, and now it's in this, which I have to tell you about this case, because this case is actually the case that was my main machine from 2006 or 7. Yeah, 2006. It had a Pentium D. So from 2006 to 2012. So this case was also my main machine for, those number of years. The motherboard has been that. And you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. It has 16 gigs of RAM. That's the most it can do. Very conservative with the virtual machine setups. Right now, okay, like I said, I'm doing P2V. So I made images of those drives, and spoiler alert, Proxmox is already on here. It's already set up. It's like basically ready to go. So I restored those images to virtual machines, and I gave it 1 core, 1 gig. I can expand it if I can later, but at this point, those specs are probably, well, except for the VPN server that had dual core, but I think that was just over provisioned for that kind of work. So I think 1 core could handle that. If not, like I said, I could bump it up to 2. 1 gig could handle that. The pihole server didn't even have 1 gig of RAM in it in the first place. So yeah, we're better than that. And plus, even with this with the restoration of the P2V onto this as a virtual machine, it's 1 gig. It has the 1 core. So. But what do I put it? What do I put it on? And it's like I got a few of these. They're actually SAS drives. There's 3 here, and there's actually 1 in this interesting icy dock So you can't open that, but there's another 3.5-inch SAS drive behind that. And okay, what am I using as my uh, Proxmox boot drive? Well, it's kind of funny because it's like, okay, yes, these Sparkle Power, they're 855 drives. I sometimes refer to them as ass drives because, well, for obvious reasons. But I had one of them as it was still in the container, and one of them had only like 20 some hours on it. So, all right, these are my the boot drive. It's set up as RAID 1, so if anything should go south, all right. RAID 1 is not a backup though, so we'll handle that later, hopefully. And then these, yeah, they do have life on them. There's, they were running for a while. But there's 4 of them, and they're set in RAID 10, RAID 10. So I guess 2 of them could die. I guess it depends on which 2 die. And we'll be okay. I also have spares. So yeah, so they're 6 terabytes each, so I have about 12 gigs or 12 terabytes of storage on that. Of course, these are SAS, so I needed an HBA. So these are cheap as dirt. Well, not dirt so far as, but very, very reasonably priced on eBay. They're older models, obviously, but they're like 40 some dollars. They come with the cables that allow you to, not have it plug into a backplane. So the blue is the SAS, and then just, connect a SATA power to it, and Bob's your uncle. The only issue with it, since these are expected to be in, rack servers and stuff with guided air and everything else, yeah, they those chips do get hot. So yeah, very janky, but workable fan situation right on top of it. That actually keeps it pretty nice and is a more comfortable temperature than what it would originally be. So I am going to stop the video right now and start booting this up, and we'll get back to the fun. So if you're watching a video like this, I'm sure you've seen Proxmox before, but as setting this up, here are the 2 virtual machines at this point. So F server VM, the summary, it's not using a whole lot of memory right there. And let's see, CPU usage. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like right now, it's, well, but you know what? Yeah, it's just gonna perform better than just the 600 megahertz Pentium 3. All right, well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I mean, I don't have a lot of threads to work on. It is a 3770, so keep in mind it's 4 cores, 8 threads. So yeah, limited in what I can do, but I mean, it is a all of this is low end. I'm trying to do my best with like low end stuff. I can get, my hands on, I can get, better hardware, but it's like, okay, this stuff hasn't been used in a while for like important stuff, and let's like I said, just retire that 600. So the hardware that it has, as you can see, I mean, it's 1 gig, 1 gig, and then like the network. So I like this. This is like one of the neatest parts for me because it does support VLAN. If we see the VPN GW, we can see that it has 2 network ports, and we can have 2, VLANs. So I only need 1 network cable for this box, and it will replace 3 network cables from the old setup. So that is one of the cool things. Right now, I did set up a backup. Backup is an external storage. It's doing a preliminary backup. I can see if I can just put that on schedule if need be. And yeah, so backup, we have Backup set. What do we have? Okay, we already have F server VM is already backed up. So next on the agenda, I'm gonna have to turn that off again, obviously, to close it up. Put it in there, clean up. This is the part, another part that I want to do, which is gonna make it nicer. This is coming up just in a few minutes. This is all gonna get torn out. Everything's gonna get torn out of here. It's gonna be one box over there. Network cables are gonna be much nicer because instead of all that hodgepodge of whatever is on there that and a nice collection of these, the small Cat 6, I think. So these are much nicer to just stay in there, not, you know, they're shorter. I think some of them are shorter than that, and the ones that are in there. But at the very least, we're all gonna get set up and be nice. So like the backup is already done. Let's see, can I refresh? Yep. All right, backups are done, and let me close that up. And I think the next time you'll see it, I think it's just gonna be in that closet. So yeah, this is gonna be the last time. It is sad. It is sad. 20 years. I guess 20 years, almost like continually on. So there we are. I have all the VLANs sorted out. I needed to do all of the setting up because all the ports are different now. The Proxmox is back up. Summary. So yep, that's up and running. Pihole, I've moved the VM box to the same IP address as the other one, and it does DHCP now again. So let's see, what do we have here? Active 6.2 queries a second at this point, 1.5 CPU, and memory is fine. So let's see, we should have more clients coming online now. Yeah, that's me. So we have, when DHCP rolls along again, it will hit this box, so we'll get that. It's not the cleanest. It never is for me, you know, but there we have it. It's in there. Network setup is right there. All those cables, never mind that. And yeah, and let's see, and look at this, it's 120 watts. Let's see with the which I normally have it off. It's okay, 120 watts or 110. So it's about 10 more watts, pulling 10 more watts than it was with the two machines, and 10 to 15 more watts between the two machines and this dude. But this guy has a lot more hard drives, and I guess when I get more VMs going on it, yeah, it'll probably be a little higher. I don't know, but yeah, at this point it has those two VMs. I haven't tried the work one yet, but I'm assuming that's okay. Yeah, love to assume. But Pi-hole is working, and just ignore that. But unfortunately, yeah, that's not the end of this box, though. No. He's gonna go over here. I'm gonna make more room here, so we'll have. He'll still be around, and you know, if anything does happen, he'll be around to still do his job. So with that, I hope it made sense. Basically, I just wanted to commemorate, I guess, the occasion, because, like I said, 20 years, and let's see if this dude lasts 20 years. I mean, honestly, at this point, this dude's already 13. It's 13. So, 7 plus 6. Okay, so he needs 13 more to go in terms of hardware age. We'll see, but for now, take care.